Facebook Live of 2019. I'm proud of myself. I'm checking my box every day. Um, that's one way I've been managing to keep my New Year's resolutions going, is that I create a checklist every day that includes those, and then I check it off as I go. So I always have my accountability in front of me to know when I've gone off track, and then I can get back on track. But that's not the point of today's live video. The point of today's live video is to talk a little bit about gratitude. But I'm going to start, like I usually do, with a story. When I was 6 years old, I had already been cooking for about 2 years because my mom started me off in the kitchen when I was 4. And I knew how to cook things like cookies and stuff like that. So I decided I was going to try something new. I had found this recipe for a chocolate cake in my textbook in school. And I wrote the recipe down really carefully, or I thought I did. And I got home and I made this chocolate cake. And I was so proud of myself. It looked so beautiful. I set it out at dinner time. I was going to surprise everybody. And everybody took a bite. And their face went, ugh. And I was like, uh-oh, something went wrong. So I take a bite. Ugh, too much salt. Turns out I had translated teaspoon as tablespoon. And if you know anything about cooking in a kitchen, there's a tremendous difference between a teaspoon of salt and a tablespoon of salt. So the cake was totally inedible, but it was a very important lesson for me to be very careful about what you add to the mix. And that is an important part of what I'm going to talk about today, because what are you adding to the mix of your life? If you are focusing on all of the things that you don't have, like I was last night, you're going to end up very unhappy and very depressed and feeling like nothing you do is mattering. And that's exactly where I was last night. I was sitting on the couch, just soaked in misery. It was like my own personal little cloud was hovering over the top of me, and I could not see any point to what I was doing in life. And I was just, I opened my book and I wrote down everything that I was feeling, and I told God, what am I overlooking and what am I missing? And this morning I woke up still feeling down, but then I took a moment to reflect, and I realized what was missing from my recipe was gratitude. I was forgetting to say thank you for everything in my life. And that includes the problems. Now, it may sound strange to thank God for the problems that you have in your life, but I want you to reflect on what happens when you're in your comfort zone and everything is going okay. You don't grow. You're not moving. You're just settling for what's going on. It's not until you get outside of your comfort zone and start having to confront problems that you also get your biggest opportunities, because problems are nothing but opportunities in disguise. If you have a problem and you can help somebody else solve that same problem, you can make money from the solution that you just found. Every problem in your life is actually an opportunity in disguise. And God's greatest gift to us always come wrapped in the ugliest, nastiest wrapping paper possibly imaginable. And he does have quite an imagination. And he hands those to you and he says, do you trust me? And most of us are like, no, peace out, I'm done. No, give me the pretty package with the bow on top. I don't want this. But if we instead say, thank you for that gift, and trust him, and tear that gift open and look, we will find that the problem that is the biggest problem in our lives is actually the greatest source of opportunity and prosperity for us. It's not meant to hurt us. It's meant to build something for us. I'll go back to another story. I was about 32 years old, and I was working at Verizon Wireless still, and I had this boss I could not stand. I just could not stand her. And I'm not the kind of person who hates people, but I could not stand this woman. And I could not for the life of me, for the longest time, figure out why. And then I realized, oh my gosh, she's a younger version of me. Now, she wasn't younger than I was, but her attitude, her maturity level was younger than mine was. And I realized she's doing the same things I was doing 5 years ago, and that's what's driving me crazy. I want her to stop. I want her to see that her behavior is totally ridiculous. But you can't say that to your boss. You can't, tell her, look, you're being an immature idiot and you're driving people away because of it. So instead, you get to suck it up. And then I had another turning point, and it was January actually of 2008. And I was going up the elevator. I was not happy. I was not looking forward to the day. And I was thinking about her. And I heard the Holy Spirit tell me loud and clear, be grateful for her. She is a gift to you, just as you are a gift to her. She's meant to teach you, just as you're meant to teach her. And that was an eye-opener, to think that the boss that I hated could be a gift. But she was. In many regards, if not for that particular boss, there are so many turning points I would not have made in my life. It was not in the comfortable period when I had worked for somebody I absolutely adored that I made this kind of growth. It was working for somebody I couldn't stand that propelled the growth, that led me to turn a lot of corners in my life, that led me on to an avenue to connect with God on levels I had never connected with him before. And to this day, I am grateful for that woman's presence in my life, because I wouldn't be who I am today if she hadn't been in my life. So that's my reflection for today, is be grateful for the problems just as much as you are grateful for the good things, for the things that you can clearly see are benefiting you and working for you. Because even your problems are working for you if you let them. If you let those problems be seen to your eyes as gifts, you will find before long that your attitude completely turns around and you are in a totally different and better place in your life. It doesn't mean that all the problems are going to go away, and God help you, you wouldn't want them to. If all the problems went away in your life, you would have nothing to work for and nothing to strive for, and you would not grow. You would not become a better version of you. Those problems are actually helping you. They're serving you. It's just that we usually don't see them that way, and so we fight them. So I'm going to end this with another story that I like to tell. And it's about two men, and both of them are hired to work at a horse stable. And both of them have the same job. Their job is to shovel the horse manure every morning and clean out the stalls. Now, one guy focuses on how dirty and stinky this job is and how backbreaking the labor is. And he hates it and resents it. And he does as little of it as he can throughout the day. He does exactly what he has to do. He doesn't do anything extra. He hates this job. He wants nothing more than to get a better job, because he doesn't see any point to it. To him, it's just an endless round of shoveling the same stuff day after day after day. Now, the other guy, though, takes a look at the horse manure, and he eventually notices that wherever that horse manure is, that's where the plants grow best. And he figures out that horse manure makes great fertilizer. And so he asks the boss for permission to bag up the horse manure and sell it to the farmers around town, and offers to split the profits with them. Now, the boss is awed at this guy's, go get 'em attitude, and gives him permission, and they both start making a killing. Now, this guy isn't taking time off of work, but he's coming into work every day excited, because he knows that, yes, that same round of horse manure is going to be there to clean up. There's going to be more piles of it, but that's good news, because that means there's going to be more to sell at the end of the day. And he's got more opportunity to help provide for his family because of it. And so his attitude is really good. He comes into work. He's always happy. He's always excited about the work that he does, even though it's the same work this other guy is doing. And at the end of a year, he's financially better off. And in fact, his boss gives him a promotion. while the other guy is still doing the same work, still has a crappy attitude, and at the end of a year gets fired. Which guy do you want to be? The guy who sees the horse manure as fertilizer and has a better life because of it, or the guy who sees nothing more than an endless round of constantly manufactured problems that he can't get away from and ends up fired at the end of a year? The choice is yours. What's the attitude you're going to take towards your problems? Are you going to look at them as problems? Or are you going to look at them as opportunities for your success? I hope this has helped you. I am sharing you because, trust me, I struggle sometimes with gratitude, but it is so important for your life and so important for your attitude. Gratitude makes for a great attitude. God bless. Have a great day.